Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mimic Loaf channel. Tonight, we are going to be starting our first session of our new campaign after Strahd, which is going to be Rime of the Frostmaiden. So we will be playing that, and I will be introducing you to our players very shortly. But before we do that, couple of quick notes. To begin with, obviously, thank you to our two sponsors. First of which being Stabby Joe and Co. Our long-term sponsors of the show. Very much appreciate it. If you want to help us out, help him out, help them out, head over to his website and use code Mimic5 at checkout. You can get yourself some shirts, some notebooks. Like, there's a whole bunch of new stuff. There was a new design just recently. Please go check it out. Use Mimic5, you get 5% off. And then the other sponsor of the show, W.GG, creators of some Jitterless energy drinks. Use code MimicLoaf there and you get 10% off there. So, let's get into it. So Icewind Dale has become trapped in perpetual winter. Ferocious blizzards make the mountain pass through the spine of the world exceedingly treacherous, and this land has not felt the warmth of the sun in over 2 years. In fact, the sun no longer appears above the mountains, not even in what should be the height of summer. In this frozen tundra, darkness and bitter cold reign as king and queen. Most Dale residents blame Auril, the Frostmaiden, the god of winter's wrath. The shimmering aurora that weaves across the sky each night is said to be her doing, a potent spell that keeps the sun at bay. Dale folk live in a scattering of settlements known as 10 towns. The drop-off in caravans coming from the south and travel between settlements in this never-ending winter has left everyone feeling isolated. Although each town has resolved to appease the Frostmaiden with sacrifices of one kind or another, no respite from winter's fury seems forthcoming. For adventurers such as the ones you're about to meet, 10 Towns is a place to test one's mettle in the spirit of heroes who have come before and leave one's mark on this frigid, blighted land. The party is headed into Icewind Dale, each for their own reasons. Some to gather wealth and power, and others to seek vengeance for the wrongs dealt against them or their kin. Icewind Dale is known to be a treacherous place for even the most hardened people, but more so alone. Reaching out through their various own contacts, they have met and formed a party willing to make the trek north. They have formed the party and have set off from their meeting point along the trail named 10 Trail. Okay. Let's get into some character stuff, shall we? Where is the... I don't know why it's like that. Why is it like that? Maybe that's because that's got to go on top of all that. Oh no, because it's hidden. That would make sense. Professional. So, first, found in the snow by Halvag Swiftweaver and taken on as his apprentice, Barrius has been sent out to learn more about the world. With his trusty spellbook in tow, Barrius is determined to return his mentor, a more accomplished wizard. Jackson, say hello.
Hello.
Please introduce Barrius.
Okay. Barrios, as you can see on the screen at the moment. He is a tiefling wizard. Yeah, so as Nathan kind of stated, he was left in the snow, and he was found by his mentor slash father figure, Halvag Swiftweaver, and taken on as his apprentice. He is very young, freshly 18. He has lived quite I would say a sheltered life, but he doesn't know a lot of what goes on in the world. So that is why he's been sent out by his mentor to kind of learn more about the world and become a more well-rounded human being. He's gone from apprentice to journeyman, as they would say. So yeah, that's him. You can see him on the screen.
You can see him on the screen. That's him.
You can.
Next. So Thalion is our next player. Thalion's journey is one of redemption, vengeance, and finding peace amidst the darkness of his past. He fights not just for his family, but for justice and the hope that their legacy can one day be restored. Would you like to introduce? Nope. Would you like to introduce your character, please?
Sure. This is Thalion Broadshield. He is a half-elf paladin, bound by an unyielding oath of vengeance. Eventually. Once the heir to a noble family devoted to justice, his life was shattered when a, enemy family razed his ancestral home, slaughtering his family before his eyes.
Damn.
With silver blonde hair and piercing green eyes, also a commanding presence, Thalion wields a greatsword and a glaive, and walks a perilous path, it would seem.
I had no idea that Thalion's backstory was so tragic.
They always are.
I know. That's how you make compelling characters. You always put them through the most fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. I feel for Thalion.
Speaking of tragic, let's bring you to the next character.
Oh, okay. I feel like that's not a very good way to introduce this character. Speaking of tragic, oh brother, here we go.
I didn't know it was tragic.
So this is Trick and Claw, or Trick, for his friends. He was found as a newborn by a traveling merchant caravan of tabaxis and raised as an only child of one of the tabaxi families. As he grew, he would use his talents as a thief, stealing from the wealthy and the undeserving. After a successful job, he seals his new he seals the deal and seeks his new fortune in Icewind Dale. Ethan, if you would like to introduce your character.
Hello. My character is Trick. I'm a Tabaxi rogue. I'm heading up to Icewind Dale to seek a little bit more fortune and maybe find some peace with some of the things I've done in the past, my past life. But I also got a few, no pun intended, tricks up my sleeve. So we're going to see what mischief I can get into and what shiny things I can get my hands on.
Awesome.
And try and find my heart along the way.
Rogues. Gotta love rogues. Cool. So banding together, you had received your first quest from Lynn Trollbane, a retired bounty hunter who's been stalking a serial killer ever since she found a connection between 3 murders and a small trading company called Torgs. This is probably relevant information for you guys to be writing down if you have notes.
What was her name?
Lynn Trollbane. Hlin. Trollbane.
Wait, what?
Trollbang.
Lin.
H.
Hlin. Flynn.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Trollbane. And what company was it? Serial killer.
A company called Torgs. Torgs.
Orgs.
Yeah.
Like the powder from Futurama.
Yep, we've all seen that. Yep, totally.
I feel like a Futurama is a pretty universal TV show.
Anyway.
You hear him twice in a sentence.
Let me get.
So,
anyway, continue.
Flynn has hired you to apprehend her suspect and dole out some cold, swift justice by quietly disposing of him if you believe him to be guilty. This quest is no murder mystery. It's a hunt. 3 cold-blooded murders have been committed.
Do they know who did it?
I'm getting there.
Okay, sorry.
Would you let me finish?
Yeah, I'm a bit too eager.
Yeah, legit, bro.
I hear someone's like serial killer, and I'm like, oh, what?
What?
Yeah.
Is it me?
Huh?
So 3 cold-blooded murders have been committed in the past month. A halfling trapper in East Haven, a human shipbuilder in Targos, and 3 days ago, a dwarf glassblower in Bryn Shander. Each victim was found with a dagger of ice through the heart. Your target is Stefan Caltro. You have gained the following information from Hlen. Sefik works... Sorry, yeah, not Stephen. Sefik. I don't know why it auto-corrected there. Sefik works for a small traveling merchant company called Torgs, owned and operated by a shady dwarf named Torgar Icevein. In other words, Sefik gets around. He's charming, makes friends easy. He is also Torgar's bodyguard. So you'd guess that he's probably good with a blade. His victims come from the only 3 towns that sacrifice people to the Frostmaiden on nights of the new moon. Maybe the victims found a way to keep their names out of the drawings, and Sefik found out they were cheating, so he killed them. Who knows? Maybe, just maybe, Sefik is doing the Frostmaiden's work. Torgar's consort moves from town to town. What struck Hlyn is how comfortable Sefik Caltro looked in this weather. No coat, no scarf, no gloves. It was like the cold didn't touch him. You have been paid 100 gold pieces to apprehend Sefik Caltro, ascertain his guilt, and deal with him, preferably without involving the authorities. When this job is done, return to Hlyn with a note of with proof, essentially. So
with his head.
With his head, yes. Long
Cool.
story short.
Will finger work?
Finger will work, yes.
Cool.
So, to begin with, how do you guys want to dole out the 100 gold pieces that she's paid you?
I'll hold on to it.
No.
Split it evenly.
I think 33 gold pieces each, and then 1 goes into the party fund.
Okay. Somebody keep note of the party
Everyone
fund.
gets 33 GP each, and then one gets put into the party fund for miscellaneous expenditures.
Okay. After collecting a few days of supplies and preparing yourself, you have headed north into Icewind Dale. As you trudge through the light snow, you notice it begin to thicken. Feel free to have a chat between yourselves as you guys trudge through this snow.
Wow. Trudging through this snow really does suck, hey? Wouldn't you agree? Stallion and tricking. I say as Barrios is like flying slightly above the snow. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention also Barrios has wings as well. I forgot to. It's in his character art, but I forgot to mention it. they weren't just for show. He can use them, and he's showing them off by floating with his feet like dangling, the Magneto style, with his feet just above the snow.
I'm just gonna be shivering from under my cloak, and you'll be able to. All you'll see is my orange and blue eyes piercing through like staring daggers at you, and I'll have little frosticles on my whiskers.
That's cute. Oh, you're cute.
Thalian says nothing.
Okay, wow. Talkative bunch.
Cool.
Do we know how much longer we have to go until we get to wherever we're going?
It is quite possibly a matter of days, depending on how the weather pertains.
Did anyone bring a map? Oh, that's right. I never leave my house without my trusty map of the entire map of the campaign.
The entire map of the campaign.
Yeah.
So as you guys begin heading down this trail, kind of like keeping to yourselves, being a new party, not really conversing very much between yous. I'm assuming Barrius trying to whip up conversation and everybody else being silent.
Okay, cool.
The snowfall begins to get faster and heavier. It gets to the point that you lose sight of the trail ahead, and it seems like a blizzard is on its way.
Yeah, okay.
So the wind is picking up. You guys are getting blown slightly to one side. Thalian, you're like the smaller, especially Barrius, is like kind of in your shadow. Your heavy
now that
armor.
the wind is picked up, Barrius is now on the floor and he's not talking at all because he realizes how much it sucks having to actually walk through the snow.
Yeah. Barrius, you're kind of like sheltered under in the shadow of Thalian, sorry. Purely because like his metalled armor, his head to toe metal is just making it so much easier to withstand that wind.
He's a good windbreak.
Windbreaker.
Yeah, he's a really good windbreaker. Tricking, what are you doing?
I'm going to be, as I said, trudging along behind them, freezing, and I'm going to look to, got Jackson's character's name already, got it written down. Barrius, I'm going to be like, Wizard, do you know any of those fire spells? We could really use a fire spell.
Fire, shit, okay, he pulls out his spellbook, he's like, no, fucking flicking, like a phone book. It's this massive...
He pulls out a Rolodex.
Yeah, I pull out a Rolodex, I'm like, flick through the Rolodex, oh, let me see what I've got. I mean, I don't have anything, like, I can't make fire. I can shoot fire, but I can't, like, make it. If you have a dry stick, I could probably light it, but I doubt it would stay lit very long in this weather.
Thalian?
I'm just going to fire a create bonfire on the floor.
There you go.
You just point and like finger gun, and this small bonfire appears. It's slightly melting the area around it. The blizzard wind picks up and just blows the bonfire away, and just like it almost immediately snuffs the flame and any warmth that it was there to give.
Well, I mean, I feel like if you just keep casting it in the same spot every 6 seconds, then I think we'd have like a pretty decent source of fire.
Just because I can cast it at will doesn't mean I will.
Okay.
Well, awkward silence kind of fills the area around you, and we continue.
I turn to Tricking and I go, does that answer your question?
I'm not going to say anything, but you can visibly tell by my posture I'm quite upset at this point in time.
Well, hopefully not too much longer. We'll be getting to where we're going, and we can all sit down at a nice warm venue and have a drink and wait for all this to blow over, literally.
So as you guys continue trudging north towards Bryn Shander, which is the location that you are heading towards on the path, the snow gets thicker and thicker at your feet. Obviously, the blizzard's doing it is obscuring any kind of vision you have to anywhere past about 5 feet from your face. It is horrid winter, horrid cold, horrid breeze.
This is awful. Why did we do this again?
Anybody?
I want to go home.
We did it for the money.
Yes. Well, sometimes it's not all about the money.
Is
Um,
this your first adventure, kid?
Yes, it is. It is my first adventure. And
I'm
it's
just gonna
honestly,
sigh.
it's not turning out as grand and incredible as I thought it would. To be honest, I kind of want to just go back home. But
Leave your 33 gold.
no,
On your way.
I will persevere. I will push on. Plus, if I turn around and go back now, I'm probably just going to die because I'll get stuck in the middle of this blizzard and freeze to death. So I don't really have a choice. Let's
Oh, no.
keep going.
Now that that's been
look at-
settled, quit your complaining. Let's go.
Okay, jeez, trying to, I don't know, make conversation.
cool. You guys move through the blizzard, completely unaware of direction now. Like
Oh,
the
great.
the obscure weather has just made it so hard to keep on this trail that you have no idea if you are on it, if you have left it, or whereabouts you are. Eventually, you guys see a faint light coming from the distance, barely cutting through the blizzard. I'll ask. It's getting colder and colder, and I'll ask for a perception check, if I can, from one or two of you. First roll of the night.
17.
17.
17.
30-20.
Oh, I beat you. So it takes you a few seconds more than what it takes Thalion. He's trained.
Well, he's a half
elf.
elf, I was gonna say he's got an
eyes.
unfair advantage.
Real quick, thank you so much, Park Ranger. I didn't get the rest of it. Park Ranger something. We very much appreciate
Park
the
Ranger
follow.
Smith.
Park Ranger Smith. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you guys, unaware of direction, start trudging through. Thalion, you notice that town first. It looks like some sort of small village, slightly lit by some sort of flame. You're assuming it's probably on a lantern of some description. This could quite possibly be the location that you've been looking for.
Oh,
As long as it's not the droids we've been looking for.
I was as honestly, I'll take it anywhere at this point, as long as we can get out of this blizzard. I think anywhere will do. I don't care where.
Cool. So you guys trudging towards this town. You find a small little like village town. The blizzard still obscuring a lot of your vision. There's a number of huts. A lot of them seem shut for this impending storm. As you guys kind of like make your way through some of the streets, through some of the windows, you can just make out the townsfolk. But before you can ask for help, they close their doors and windows, completely shutting you off into the cold. It would seem like people here are not too fond of outsiders. Just from some of the layouts of the buildings and like a couple of the townsfolk that you have seen, Barrius, you recognize this place as Dugan's Hole.
Well, I've got bad news and I've got bad news, and I've got good news and I've got bad news and I've got bad news. Which one do you want to hear first?
Oh, they all sound pretty bad. Start with the first one.
Well, the first bad news is we didn't make it to where we wanted to go, which was, I can't remember the name of the town.
Bryn Shander.
Bryn Shander. I'm gonna write that down. Bryn Shander. We're not in Bryn Shander. The second bad news is we're in Dugan's Hole, and as by the name kind of suggests, this place is a fucking hole. But the good news is I know someone who lives here. He might be able to help us out.
No, lead the way.
Okay, let's see if I remember. It's been a while, but
Make me a history.
let's see if I can
check.
find the way. Oh, hey, lucky I'm proficient in history, and it was a natural one. Oh no! For a 6.
Cool. You guys head in the direction following Barrius's lead. Barrius,
know
you're
where
like,
we're going.
yes, I know where I'm going. Yep, it's down this way. And then you get to the end of that street and realize that it is just snow, like from like blizzard from there on, and you're like, maybe I went the wrong way. And so you turn around and start heading in the opposite direction. It takes you a good hour in this cold, to which I'm going to ask everybody to add a point of exhaustion.
No. How do I add exhaustion? How do you do that? Oh,
It should be up at the top, I believe.
it's under conditions.
Yeah, under conditions.
I've never had to do that before.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So if everyone can add 1 point of exhaustion as you guys are trudging through this blizzard, trying to find some sort of shelter. Barrius somewhat being to blame for your misdirection.
Hey, well, we got there in the end.
Until eventually you get to a small hut. It looks very disheveled from what you can see. You can almost hear like some of the battings on the roof flapping in the wind, kind of making a creaky kind of noise. It looks very old, very not necessarily looked after, but like watertight, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Before you is another shut door, but Barrius, you were almost certain that this is.
No, I don't actually bang on the door that hard. I knock on the door politely.
Cool. Opening the door, you guys see standing in front of you is a grizzled old man. I, for some reason, don't have that map loaded. Why do I not have that map loaded? Okay. You see a grizzled old man. Where are you? Ethan. Or Stabby Joe, would you like to introduce your character while I'm getting an image for everybody?
Yeah, sure. You see a very old, disheveled, grouchy-looking old man just peeking through like a slit in the door. He goes,
Who is it?
Uncle Bart, it's me. It's Barrier.
Oh, young Barrius. What are you doing here?
We got lost. We got lost. We're on our way to Brynjander, and then the blizzard rolled in, and we kind of got all turned around, and we ended up in Dugan's Hole.
Yes, that would be a reason to be here, I suppose.
Yeah, there's not really many other reasons I'd want to come here, but.
And who is this overly chiseled man and his pet cat?
These are
Your
my friends.
grandfather?
He's my he's a family friend. He's my uncle, a family friend. This is Thalion, and these are my friends, Thalion and Tricking.
Nice to meet you, sir. My name is Thalion.
Bartleby. You don't have to remember, that's okay. And Tricking, was it?
Yeah, I'm gonna offer like a dramatic bow. And fluff
No need for formalities. Come in, I suppose. It's not very big, but you're welcome to my home.
Thank you.
Fire running?
Do you have a fire running, Bartleby?
yeah.
Yeah. So
That's like, I have, in my shack, I have a single bed on a metal frame mattress. I have a fireplace in one corner, and then a small table and one chair in the other corner.
I immediately push past you to beeline for the fireplace.
Yeah, I'm gonna go sit next to the fireplace as well and hold
Your
my hands up.
home is very quaint.
It's not, but thank you.
Oh, that's funny.
yes, Tricking?
I'd like to roll to have a quick case of the joint, just like dart my eyes around to see if there's anything valuable.
Sure, give me a perception
You're
check.
a bastard. This man lets you into your home, into his home.
I'm just having a look around. I have not done a thing. It's just a look.
It's the instinct.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Cool.
Jesus.
Bartleby, if you want to explain what you have hanging in your home,
Yeah.
sitting on mantel places on the floor, wherever they may be.
So to save bigger explanation, I don't know if you've ever seen like videos of the old shacks they used to build in like the Antarctic. So when travelers would go, they'd have just a building full of supplies.
Mhm.
It's that. It's just an old shack full of like canned food, rations. There's like rope and hessian sacks hanging from the wall. There's nothing interesting here. It's all purely survival.
Any like ice axes, crampons?
Yeah, yeah. There would be pickaxes, ice picks, all the accoutrements to deal with the weather that you've walked into.
Yeah, sick. I'm gonna see if I can swindle myself a set of crampons or ice axes. Not now, but before we leave, I'm gonna at some point during this.
Okay,
night,
you tell me
I'll
when, and we'll roll for it. So as Bartleby welcomes you into the house, you guys kind of like sit around the fire. Most of you on the floor. I'm assuming some of you roll out your bed rolls that are in your backpacks to make it a little bit more comfortable. Yes, Thalia?
Bartleby, have you eaten today?
Yes, I have.
Ah.
Why?
Well, I haven't, but I noticed you had a few canned goods on the wall there. I was wondering if you might let me.
Yeah, help yourself. It's all incredibly bland, but it will sustain you.
Well, that's okay. I'll see what I can do.
Cool. You grab like
I'm also
just.
gonna take that as an invitation.
Sorry, you guys grab like a can of this. It's unlabeled. It's just like this silver tin can that looks like it may have been resealed at some point in its life. You guys kind of, I guess, jamming one of your knives in and cracking it open or something like that. You're hit with this pungent smell, like of slightly decayed but still all right food. This canned food is like been here for quite some time, and you have this sneaking suspicion that Bartleby may have forgotten that it was there at some point and was like grabbing from the front, not from the back.
He doesn't follow proper stock rotation.
Yeah.
I, knowing what Bartleby is like, I'm just gonna pull out some of my rations and sit in front of the fire and have some beef jerky and some hardtack.
Just sit down on the edge of
Yum.
my depressing looking bed and whip out like the most leathery piece of jerky and start gumming on it. Like,
Yeah.
Gumming on it. You just put it in your mouth and like suck on it. You don't even chew it. You just suck all the
it's just
nutrients out
it's
of
gonna
it.
take years for him to chew it.
Yes,
Oh, that's
Thalian?
funny.
I'm gonna whip out like this cooking set that I've got, and it's got like think of like leather craftsman's tools, but like I roll it out. And there's like spices and shit in there, like just small random little things that I've collected over the time, and like cooking utensils. Just start cooking over the fire with this like can of like rotted whatever it is.
Yeah, cool. Give me a intelligence check. Straight intelligence.
15.
15. Cool. You, with your extensive knowledge of spices and your cooker's tools, you actually managed to make something that's half decent. Like, you can no longer taste this putrid kind of tang to the food, and you end up making this really nice, like, it's not gruel, it's more of like this hearty stew. With the liquid that was in the can and the meat, the wet meat that was in the can. You also managed to grab a couple of extra like vegetables that have 100% been past their use by date. But you
If
cut,
it's
It's pickled stuff.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
like,
He's not an idiot.
you cut around the bad parts and like you managed to make a decent stew, and yeah, it's actually not bad.
Tricking, come here and try this real quick.
Canned wet meat.
I'm just gonna like come over like a hungry cat with my tail up and be like, yes.
It's like cat food. That's what you're eating. It's like cat food.
Stick my nose basically into the pot.
Do you taste
Yeah,
it?
I do.
Yeah, so it is yeah, like I said, fairly decent. And it's very reminiscent of the kind of foods that, like, the communal foods that you would have enjoyed while being with your adoptive family, like that one person cooks for everybody kind of situation, and they make big meals. It's very reminiscent of that, and it's not half bad.
I'm gonna share that with Thalion and be like, reminds me of home and my traveling companions of my childhood days.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm just gonna start eating it. I've given him a bite, and I'm like, yeah, the rest is mine.
You test it on him, make sure it's not poisonous.
It didn't die. Very good.
Cool. You guys begin to hear like the crackling of the fire as Bartleby puts like another log on there, like hobbling over with this large log to put in the fire.
It's actually quite cozy in here. Cozier than outside, at least. People were not very welcoming to us in the town. They basically they shunned us, but you know.
That's pretty common for the town. They're also a bit on edge at the moment, but that's not out of the ordinary.
What are they on edge? What I mean, more on edge than usual.
Yeah, well, they do hate outsiders for
Well,
whatever reason, but there is also talks of werewolves or wolves or something of the likes around the town.
right. Yeah, that's probably not helpful to the situation in the town, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't venture in there very often myself.
Yeah, I don't blame you, honestly. It's pretty miserable in there. I don't mean to impose, but would it be alright if we, I guess, waited out the storm here?
What was the other option?
I mean, you could just kick us back out into the storm, I guess. It is your house after all.
Not you, the young Barrius. It's you can stay.
Oh. The other two? Make it fuck off. Get out of my house. Okay. Well, guess I'm gonna like properly set up my bedroll on the floor and kind of stuck in a bit comfy.
Cool.
Close to the fire, but not too close where I burn up and get too hot.
Yeah, cool. Thalion?
Thalion's gonna turn to Bartleby, look at him quizzically, and be like, like he's looking at Bartleby like he can't remember his name right now. So Bartleby will say, well, sort of, I imagine picks up on this and says, Bartleby.
It's okay. Most people forget it. Don't worry.
I'm sure I'll remember soon. Do you happen to know which direction is to Bryn Shadow? Bryn Shanda.
Yeah. I do, yes.
Okay, very good. Well, once the blizzard subsides, perhaps you can point us in the right direction. We really do need to head over there at some point.
I suspect you might need more than a pointing based on the fact you ended up here.
Well, is it far?
I mean, it's not close, but having someone familiar with the area would probably help.
It might be best for you to join us then.
Okay.
Oh, that was easy.
Okay.
I didn't have anything else
I was
planned.
gonna say it's not like, in the most respectful way, it's not like he has much to leave behind. He's got this dingy little shack with all his belongings seem to be just various accoutrements for climbing around outside. That's the most valuable thing. Yeah.
Not die. That's all he's got.
The most valuable things he owns are things that he's going to be taking with him anyways.
I guess considering your possessions are all for the outside of your shack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I'll just like out of nowhere hop up and head outside, and then I come back in with a frozen deer leg just over my
Oh,
shoulder
Okay.
and start shaving bits off.
Mm.
Then I'm gonna put them on the fire.
It's a tad frozen, but we can make it work.
It stays good when it's frozen.
Cool.
Yeah, he doesn't store it anyway. He just leaves it out in the snow.
Yeah. And just freezes it.
What do you
Hey,
mean,
nature's ice box.
Oh, this one's got a little bit of that yellow, that lemon snow on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. You guys managed to like lay down your bed rolls, get like somewhat comfortable. I'm assuming Bartleby takes the bed because it is his house after all.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything you guys want to do before hitting the hay for the first night? Your first night in Icewind Dale?
No.
No.
I want to go to bed. I'm tired. I've been trudging around the freaking snow outside.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
then.
same for me. I'm just happy to go to bed in front of the fire.
Cool. Sweet. Well, everybody can mark off a long rest then. As you guys wake up in the morning, the blizzard has definitely subsided.
We get rid of our exhaustion as well, don't we?
I believe it should automatically get rid of. Yes.
You have to tick it
Oh, you do.
because it's like you have to have food and water. But
Yeah. Yeah.
we had food and water. I got to get rid of one of my rations. All right. Yeah. Go on. We wake up.
So you guys wake up in Dugan's Hole, the first town of the 10 towns that you guys had traveled to. Unfortunately, stumbled upon.
Yeah. Yeah. Regrettably.
You find Bartleby already like up and a little bit spry. I imagine he's probably an early riser, being an old man. He's already like getting a pack underway. To that point,
You know what they say.
he
Early to bed,
also-
early to rise. Makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Yep, that's it. He had also set up a map on the main table for the lot of you to have a look at.
Yay, a map.
Which you should now be able to go to. Which let's bring everybody to, so the stream can have a look as well. Of course, I've configured it wrong because I'm a numpty.
Mine's still loading, so I wouldn't have known. There we go. Ta-da!
So, you guys have ended up at Dugan's Hole.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Dugan's Hole.
where you guys were heading to Bryn Shander. 10 Trail is the trail that you guys were heading up north through, which normally leads straight to Bryn Shander, but because of that blizzard, it had knocked you completely off course, and you have ended up in Dugan's Hole. Generally speaking, you don't want to be traversing the wilderness, and you want to be sticking to the paths as much as possible, because as Bartleby will attest, shit happens.
It's
in the
cold.
wilderness. It's
There's
cold.
No.
There is a lot of snow. But yes, that is your map. What would you guys like to do now that it is morning?
Well, I guess if we're going to travel, we should stay on the path, and obviously the path goes out of Dugan's Hole, so we need to go into Dugan's Hole to then go onto the path to get to Bryn Shander. So, I suppose we go into Dugan's Hole.
Going into Dugan's Hole. Fair enough.
Yes,
This is
we're
Dugan's
entering
Hole.
Dugan's Hole.
For all that can
Isn't that right,
see, this
Nathan?
is you are entering Dugan's Hole.
Yes.
Yes, this is the main area of Dugan's Hole. What am I doing? I will mark a couple of things on your map, or one thing on your map, I should say.
I wonder what this thing is.
Cool. So on your map, marked by a big black question mark, is Bartleby's house. So that is whereabouts you guys are. What would you guys like to do? You guys kind of like step out into the snow-covered landscape of Dugan's Hole. You guys see multiple villagers, kind of all give you a look up and down and kind of scowl at you. I will get in perception checks from two of you.
12.
22.
Oh, wait.
Cool.
I had 22.
16.
So Thalion, this being something new to Thalion and tricking, you guys notice that there's quite a few amount of villagers here that strike a very close resemblance to each other, almost to the point where it almost looks like the whole village could be like cousins or like sisters, brothers, something like that. If it wasn't for these like deformities upon a lot of people's faces. So that's things like buck teeth or like enlarged bulbous nostrils, like an eye that is one size bigger than the other, like things like that. Yes, Thalion?
I'm just gonna whisper in Tricking's ear and be like, gene pool's awful small here.
I'm just gonna look up at you and be like, what's wrong with these guys?
What's a gene pool? Can I go swimming in it?
Just to keep your hand close to your weapon, just in
I
case.
was just about to say, just under my cloak, I do just like slightly pull my dagger from its sheath.
You're like,
It's not unsheathed, but it's tucked and ready.
he's ready to go.
As you guys are like walking through the street, towards, I'm assuming the area that you guys are heading, which I'm assuming is the road out.
Yes.
You begin hearing murmurings and like villagers saying things about these wolves that Bartleby mentioned. The first one says, "Don't know how many, but them wolves are as big as horses." As he kind of like passes, talking to a friend of his.
Friend.
You notice that this gentleman has like very small, misshapen ears, and then
cousin.
kind of like in the same grouping, another one says, "They know words and got bloody vocabulary." And this one with pointed teeth, as he says it, you can see like the jagged teeth underneath his kind of locked down underbite. And then you just kind of hear another one off into the distance kind of go, "By Thor and Stones, they caught Fair Sill and her lovely brother Finn the other day." Who bears, this gentleman bearing a striking resemblance to the other two. But
That's cool. I kind of want to know a little bit more about these wolves. I want to know what the go is. I don't know if they'll talk to me though, because they're probably like super racist.
you approach one of them.
Yeah, I'll just walk.
I'll put my arm out and
Yeah,
stop
I'm
him
sure.
before he starts to walk off and be like,
There's no point talking to the general populace. We'd best talk to Edgar if you want any useful information.
Oh, who's that?
I guess the leader, the prime minister. I don't know.
The Prime Minister.
one that's in charge around here.
The Prime
so to
Minister
speak.
of Dugan's Hole.
yeah.
What a prestigious title.
It's a title as it sounds.
It just reminds me of that Simpsons episode where, like the Australia one, where they're like, "I'm gonna go talk to my local member of parliament," and it's the Prime Minister, and he's like sitting in the middle of a damn naked in like a tire tube, and they're like, "Mr. Prime Minister, Andy," and he's just like sitting there in the middle of a dam drinking a beer. That's what we're gonna walk in. The Prime Minister of Dugan's Hole is just gonna be like cranking one out by the fire in his house.
Yeah, totally it. You guys heading, kind of wanting to know more information about this stuff. You guys head to Speaker Edgra Dermot. Sorry, Dermot.
Dermarut was what I had written down.
Dermot.
Edgar
Dermot.
D.
Durmot.
Dermot.
Yeah,
Right.
Dermot.
He's what, the Prime Minister?
The
PM
Prime
of
Minister of Dugan's Hole.
Hole.
As you guys kind of like approach the speaker's house, or as it's known, this is the central building of this village. You see sitting kind of like outside holding this bit of a cane is what Bartleby you know as Speaker Edgar. It's an older woman with like this wrinkled scowl set upon her face. She's wearing like this large furred coat that has like this white lined collar, and you just see her kind of like watch you as you guys approach. Yes, Tricking.
Does she look familiar to everyone?
Make me
yes.
a perception check.
Bartleby's like, they all look
That's a
the same
17.
here.
So, it's kind of like that, like the whole spot the difference game, except it's spot the same game, and like you can see like there's certain parts that you're like, this could be that, this could be this could be this, and you're like matching them to people just randomly walking by that are also giving you scowls. To which point you also see a child that kind of like walks past you guys with the same wrinkled scowl of an older elderly
Like an
woman,
old
just kinda
man.
like, yeah, but like young and
Yeah.
obviously a child.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like get a little bit closer to Thalion and be like, "Can we leave?"
Once we get the information, we will.
Yeah,
Once we steal everything they've got of value,
If you find food, let me know.
I'll just give him
Um,
like a wink.
clutching onto this like little cane kind of walking stick that helps her through the snow. She just kind of speaks up and she's like, "What do you want, Bartleby? You brought
My friend various.
strangers."
Well, they brought themselves in here through inexperience, but they would like some information on the wolves, the people who have been talking about.
Them bloody wolves. Well, what do you want to know? And she kind of like looks at the rest of yous with that same scowl, almost as if you're giving her a disservice just by standing there.
Yeah, well, he's racist.
I'm gonna ask her how much she'll pay us to get rid of them.
I'm not paying you shit.
Well,
Just kind of
good thing we don't want to be paid with shit.
Very bold of you to assume they have money, Tricking.
I guess I'm just curious. I've never heard of anything quite like those creatures. When do they usually come out?
They usually come once a week, once a month.
Oh yeah, okay.
They come in and try and extort us for all our food. We kind of need.
So they come in and actually like, do they talk to you and they ask you questions and they talk to you?
It's less asking, more demanding.
Do they talk to you though? They talk to you.
Yeah, they talk. Do you not listen?
I'll whisper in Barry's ear and be like,
I don't think they're actually wolves.
No.
More likely, creatures of some sort.
Well, and what do they look like? They look like wolves. Do they walk around on four legs?
What kind of wolf have you seen that doesn't walk on four legs?
So they walk on four legs.
She just kind of like scowls at you.
Is that a yes or is that a no?
Of course it's a yes.
Okay, thank you. Go on, Tricking. Oh no, go
Thalion?
Italian.
Perhaps some kind of arrangement could be made. Seems that they're coming once a week, once a month to take your food and extort you for it. How about you pay us some food? Only once.
I'm
and
not
take care of
gonna
the issue.
pay you shit. And I
What if
ain't
we
giving
did get rid of
those
them, though?
wolves nothing either.
Haven't you? Well, how do you deal with them?
I just run them out of town myself.
Yourself.
Yes.
Then why's everybody complaining
Yes.
about him being such a problem?
Well, I don't know. Well, apparently they took 2 of the kids from the town or something.
I mean, that's probably not great.
Ah, they're probably dead by now.
Right.
And the mighty protector of Dugan's Hold yourself isn't going to do
I'm
anything about
no
it.
protector.
Yeah, I can
Well, you
tell.
just said you run the wolves out of town.
Seems like
Do
no
you
one
or
here is
don't you
using
do what you
protection
say?
either.
Yeah.
Look, if you
Um,
want something, maybe you speak to them kids' parents. Maybe they pay you something.
Do you know where these wolves come from?
Oh,
She kind of like points out into the like slight northwestern
Sick.
kind
So
of
you
direction.
don't know where
She's
they
like,
come from.
and the wilderness. Ask Bartleby,
okay.
I'm sure he'll show you.
Bartleby.
They come from the forested area just outside of town,
Okay.
from what I can figure out.
Where do the kids' parents live?
Ah,
She kind of like points to a couple of the houses.
Can you please
a little bit
lay it
further
out on
down.
this map for us, please?
She
I mean,
points.
consider it. It might be hard. It might be hard. It might be hard to track down who actually are the parents of these kids because everyone in this town is related.
Maybe we
Like
could
they're all
extort multiple
parents and they're all aunties and uncles and cousins and brothers and sisters in this town. It's a very close knit community, you could say.
The population doesn't go down, but no one comes into town.
Yeah, exactly. The population, yeah. Much to think about. Anyway,
Oh, when
I
Mr.
guess
James will-
I guess we'll go. We can talk to these the parents of these children.
Yeah, cool. So heading like kind of like that grizzled old woman just kind of gives you a scowl as you guys leave, unless you guys have anything else to say. to her.
Until next time, Edgar.
fuck
It was
off!
lovely meeting you. It was lovely meeting you.
She just kind
Okay.
of exclaims, and as you guys kind of walk away.
Sure.
The charming woman.
Probably just has like a little chuckle to himself, knowing full well that was the response he was going to get.
You guys head to one of the houses. It is currently like closed door. You do hear what sounds like a woman crying on the inside.
Bartleby will take lead and go and knock
Yeah.
on the door.
Please. I think if
Just
she
so
It's
opened
not
the
just
door,
a complete
I
stranger.
was gonna say if she opened the door and saw a demon man standing there, she would probably kill me.
Man's a bit
Demon
rich.
boy.
As you open up the door,
Actually,
you
excuse
see
you. He's an adult.
you see standing there a woman open the door, and it's at this point that you perceive that the woman's crying voice was actually a man crying at a table. As the woman opens the door, she's like,
Yes, how can we help you?
We
Oh,
heard
Bartleby.
murmuring. Yeah, hello. The kids were taken, from what I've heard.
Yeah, Silja was taken from us and Finn was taken from across the way.
Finn and
Silja.
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 SILJ.
Companions here were interested in maybe helping track them down.
Oh, well, that would be mighty kind, but
She kind of like leans in towards to whisper to you, Bartleby, and she says,
But can you really trust them outsiders, though? I've never seen their faces around here before.
You've seen Barriers. He was just much smaller last time. Less wings, smaller horns. The other two,
I
the
think
jury's
I'd
still out,
remember
but
a red-skinned git.
that's Barriers.
That's me. The
The
red
two-
beard.
The jury's still out on them, but I'll keep my eye on them.
You better them outsiders.
She just kind of like mumbles under her breath some sort of like very unintelligible curse words.
Well, fuck you then.
Do you have any information on where they went?
Not really. They hold up just out of town. Maybe if you just head north, you might see one of the wolves. They kind of stalk the wilderness around there.
I guess we're going to the north then.
We'll see what we can do.
Well, that'd be very appreciated. If you could manage to bring them back, I might be able to rustle something up for you.
Some magic items, perhaps?
What's the
I
magic?
don't know if we
item?
want the kind of magic that's here.
Family
you're not
magic.
wrong. Yeah.
It's going to
Family
just
magic.
Swat the muck from this place off me.
Alright. I guess. Do we want to head to the north now then?
Yeah, I'll lead them to where I suspect they're coming from.
Cool.
Easy. As you guys kind of like trudge like a little bit out of town, it takes like there's a little bit of a snow barrier from where everybody's kind of shuffled the snow out. You kind of like hop over that and then continue moving. Searching for the wolves. You kind of looking around, following the landscape, following Bartleby's lead. I need a survival check from somebody, just one.
I got it.
Thank you.
That is a 21.
Cool. So kind of heading in the direction of where where they were last spotted. You trudge around for what feels like maybe about an hour, 2 hours. It's then that up ahead, you guys see a wolf, like this large, almost dire wolf size, white furred wolf, that kind of like lifts its legs slightly, looks in your direction, and you see it like hop towards you. It's seemingly limping, possibly injured. You can just make out the kind of the little bit of like a dog's whimpers as it kind of like moves very slowly in your direction. And that is where we're going to take a break real quick. So bear with us a few minutes. Thank you for joining us so far, and we will be back very soon. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Mimic Loaf. Rime of the Frostmaiden this time, not Curse of Strahd. Where we left off, the guys are trudging north. They've just found a what looks to be an injured wolf, limping slightly towards their direction. What do you guys want to do?
Bartleby
Kill
just
it.
goes,
No.
Oh, what's that?
and then when you look back, he's gone.
Where'd Brad go?
Oh,
Brad's his
Who are
name,
we
right?
talking about?
Brad, the old guy.
What old guy?
yeah.
Barry's his friend.
I've seen him do this a couple of times.
He
Wait,
doesn't have
let me-
friends.
Let me kind of just. I go like.
You feel
It's
like
like-
a...
I'm like, like when you're like trying to find your way in the dark and you're like, kind of doing that. I'm like, and then I
In all
kind of,
serious, no.
yeah. What are you gonna say?
In all serious, though, I will draw my bow and knock an arrow.
Damn,
So you
this wolf get no mercy.
No, they say curiosity killed the cat.
it continues like limping in your direction, and you hear the whimpers of a hurt dog just kind of going.
And I
I'm gonna
get
my
Bartleby so he can help us out.
You just like smack me in the face while you're swinging your hands.
I'm
like,
like, oh, There we go.
Barry,
Sorry.
I was hiding.
I know, but we need your help with this one. We do need your help.
And then you look back
Fine.
to the dog and then back to Bartleby and he's gone again.
He's gone again. Oh, fuck. What's that over there? And Barris falls for it every single time. You're like, what's that over there? He's like, huh?
I will also get my bow off my back.
As you guys kind of like pull the bow and like ready yourselves, you just kind of you hear the dog go, "Please don't." Please
okay.
Don't.
Do I see its lips move? Like, do I see its mouth moving?
Yes, you do.
Damn, crazy. That is wild that it's actually talking. How can you talk?
I am a magical creature. Please, I'm injured. Please.
Okay. Can I insight check this?
You can make an insight check.
It's not very good, but 6.
A
I'm like,
6.
It's hard to read.
Yeah, very hard to read a
dogs.
wolf. You've never.
It's hard to read wolves' facial expression.
Yeah, it's very hard to read a wolf. But he's like, please help me. I'm hurt. Yes, Thalion?
Who did this to you?
A mean old frost giant named Garagai. He's been
Okay.
he's been forcing me to work, stealing food.
Does that have any-
He kicks me a lot. Yes.
Does that have anything to do with the children you've taken?
He made us do it. He made me do it.
Yes, but what did you get out of it? No one makes everyone do something. You have a choice.
I got kicked. You see him like limp.
He didn't get killed.
Bartleby, I think was next.
I restow my bow and pull a spear off my back. And I say,
You can come as close as the tip of the spear. Let me look at the wounds.
You see him like limp slowly towards you.
I'm gonna have a look just to make sure that there are substantial wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a perception or medicine check.
That is a 12.
12. It looks like it is somewhat like it is very hard to tell, like because it's like it doesn't look like something that. It looks more like possibly an internal injury. There is no like external snappage. There's a little bit of blood on the paws, like, but there's no like.
I'll tell him.
Bring the sword leg closer.
You just see him
And then I
kind of,
just
like hot,
smack it with the flat side of the spearhead.
and he just like he startles and he whimpers and he's like, "Why did you do that?"
Just making sure. I don't trust talking wolves, understandably. Could you take us to where this frost giant is?
I can, but okay. Follow me. And you see him like slowly whimper and like slowly limp towards a direction.
And still.
I'll just pick up like the closest stick or branch I can find and snap a bit.
Yeah.
And then take out some bandages and splint his leg.
Yeah. You splint his leg and he's still like limping slightly, but he's definitely a lot more movable. And he, as you guys begin, he kind of gets a little bit of distance away, looks back at you to see if you guys follow. You guys kind of step in that direction, and he's like, "My name is Corin."
I am Bartleby. Bartleby the Forgettable.
Ah, it's Bartleby. I was calling him Brad. Anyway.
Barry out.
I'll pull up alongside. What was his name?
Oren.
Corin. Koran.
Corin.
Corin. He just kind of keeps limping, and he's like, "Yeah, Garagai, he beats me and my brother, my brother Kanan." And he kind of like keeps limping towards.
And why exactly do you work for him?
He, we have no choice. And he kind of like limps a little bit. That's when jumping out of like like from behind a bush, you see this other wolf, very similar, snarling his teeth, kind of like in this defensive stance.
I angle the tip of my spear right to Corin's neck.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
He just kind of snarls a little bit, sees that you're with Corin, and kind of like stops, and he's like, "Sorry, I am Kanan. I am Corin's brother.
Bartleby.
I was out here looking for him. Brother,
He's a bit worse for wear, but here
does
he
look
is.
hurt. What, are you coming back to the lodge to take care of Garagai then?
We are just looking for the missing kids.
I guarantee you that is where they are, in the lodge. Garagai is most likely holding them captive.
With a frost giant at the lodge.
Yes,
Is there a frost
very
giant?
mean old
That is-
frost giant.
Okay. I feel like give me a sec. Give us a second, please. I kind of gonna huddle everyone together and be like, I feel like, a frost giant. I feel like we might be in over our heads a little bit. I mean, I'm gonna be so real right now. I've never cast a spell at another living creature before.
That has been painfully obvious since I've met you, Barrios.
I don't think that the first spell I'm ever going to cast at another living creature is going to be a frost giant. I was thinking more like, I don't know, a goblin or a wolf or something, not a frost giant.
What does it matter? The frost giant will be a bigger target.
I mean, yeah, that's the problem. I feel like I'm going to get smushed.
At least you won't miss.
They say
mean,
pressure
yeah.
makes diamonds, Barriers.
Yeah, but I feel like this much pressure, I'm not ready to be a diamond yet. Give me a little bit more time as coal. Anyway.
Kanan kind of speaks up and is like, "What is the holdup? Are we strategizing?"
Tell me, Kaden, if we look after this frost giant, will you join us?
Very much so, yes. If you defeat the frost giant, we will be free to do what we please.
And what is it? What is it that you please? What do you do for fun when you're not being bullied by a frost giant?
We want
Crochet.
the simple life, isn't that right, brother? And then Corin kind of goes, "Yes, the simple
I mean, what?
life."
Okay, what is the simple life? You're not going to harass other towns, are you?
No, like, we want to forage for food, eat rabbits.
Okay. Cool.
Live in the
that's-
wilderness.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's cool with
I
me.
also enjoy those things.
Foraging for food and eating rabbits. Okay, well, I suppose take us to where this frost giant is. Was it Galagai? Garagai.
Kanan,
Yes.
can you tell me of Garagai's habits? Anything that might help us with this?
He's very mean. He's old. He likes to beat us a lot. As far as habits go, I mean, he likes to eat. He doesn't allow us inside the lodge very often. So we only know of his comings and goings. He forces us to do most of his errands.
Interesting.
Okay.
Is
Have you
he
ever-
a
have you ever
smart
seen-
individual or more of a brute?
More of a brute, Frost giants are known to be not exactly
I am
intellectual.
quite adept in giants, believe it or not.
Yes, Barrios?
Have you've obviously seen him before, right?
Yes, of course.
And he looks like a frost giant.
Yeah, he's at least 20 foot tall.
20 feet tall.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Looking at the rest of the party.
Yeah, like I'm like 20 feet tall. Really? We're gonna go.
Well, Tricking, I've seen that you have a bow. Thalion, you up close or you capable from a distance?
I mean, I'm more proficient up close. Bartleby. Oh, I remembered your name. Good for me.
I appreciate it, thank you. And your unfamiliar spells, Barrios, are they up close
mean-
or from a distance?
From a distance, and yeah. I'm just
Might I
weird.
suggest we use the familiarity that Corin and Caden have to the giant to lure him whilst we wait from a distance?
Yes,
Something.
I agree with your summation there, Bartleby. I think we might need to find somewhere to lay an ambush. Perhaps use the natural topography of the land, maybe for an advantage.
Agreed. Tricking?
I once stole a giant ring from a frost giant. It's round as a barrel of wine. They're slow and stupid, so laying a trap would be the best way to go about it.
Well,
Luring them out, take a couple of
today there
shots.
might not be jewelry, but you can steal his life at least.
Oof.
That will do.
Don't.
And maybe rescue some children along the way, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Oh, yes, that. Yep.
Cool.
I'm
You
just
guys.
gonna turn to Alien and be like, is he Bartleby the forgetful or the forgettable?
I forget.
Who's one of the two?
Both as adequate.
Cool.
Who's that old man?
He just trails off into his own thought.
Yep.
What?
Caden,
Yes.
you know this area pretty well around the lodge.
Yes.
I need something strategic. Anything we can use to our advantage to take this guy down. This frost giant down.
The lodge has 3 entrances. A center, a left, and a right. I would hazard a guess and say he's most likely in the center chamber on a throne made of ice. So if you want to surprise, I would stay away from that chamber.
Okay. And the children that were captured, where are they kept?
We do not know.
Okay.
Yes, Bartleby?
Do you think, Kanan, that you would be able to lure him outside?
I could try, but he may beat me.
Not if we beat him first.
I can try.
It would be appreciated, as that might give us the edge we need.
Well, shall we go then?
Lead the way.
Cool. He begins kind of supporting his brother, and kind of knocking him in a direction as his brother kind of like whimpers and limps slightly in a direction. You guys heading through the snow, following Kanan and Corin's lead. I need somebody to roll me a D100.
Not.
I don't own a D100.
I do.
Get it, Rankins?
You ready for the thud?
No, it's
Oh my
fallen off the
God.
desk. Hang on.
I
Through
forgot
the
that.
earth.
I forgot that it is actually a
Yeah.
D100.
A metal one. 83 was the number.
83. Cool.
This could be very
This
bad.
snow begins to fall. Only light snow, luckily, so there's no it doesn't seemingly there's any blizzard on the way, which is great. As you guys kind of begin to move, you guys see as they kind of come around these rocks and these trees, you see a pack of 6 wolves. These wolves are very gaunt, a lot smaller than Kanan and Corin. Very gaunt. They almost look like they're real hungry. They're real starved for food. Kanan and Corin kind of give them a snarl, and they just completely disperse out of view, running from the sight of these 2 wolves.
We
Kanan-
can't see whatever's on the
Oh yeah,
thing.
'cause I forgot
Neither
to
can the
do-
stream.
Yeah, sorry. Jesus. First time
There we go.
jitters. Yeah, 6 wolves
Oh,
kind of
Lord.
come out of nowhere, all gaunt and starving. Kanan and Corin give off this snarl, and those wolves just completely disperse, running in all different directions. And Corin kind of looks back at you and says, "Don't worry. If you're with us, we will keep you safe until we get to the lodge." And then they just keep
sick.
moving towards the lodge, to the point where after a little bit more movement. Let me fix that real quick. You guys see the lodge. So jutting out
okay.
of this
That's
vast
not what I was thinking
tundra
of.
is a towering
What a shithole.
edifice built entirely of ice. The domed structure is easily 3 times the height and width of any building in 10 towns. You guys see 3 main entrances, one straight ahead, and then 2 either side. Yes, Bartleby?
Just quickly, I'm going to ask Corin.
Yeah.
Those wolves, were they friendly or familiar
They're just
to you, not to us?
not to us. No. They're just hungry. They're standard wolves.
If the time came, could you signal there's a meal nearby and they would understand?
He kind of looks to his brother. We could try.
I feel as though it could be quite useful if we could harness 6 wolves at our beck and call if they think there's a meal in it for them.
They just kind of nod, and continue trudging slightly towards this large structure in the distance. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session, as you guys walk up to this large ice sculpture in the middle of this frozen tundra around you. Yeah, we are going to end it there. So thank you so much for anybody
Oh, so
that joined
exciting.
us. I hope you guys had fun with session 1. I hope you guys had fun with session 2.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, and we'll get back to dealing with Garagai next session, in the lodge itself. So yeah, please give us a like, give us a follow.
Lazy.
Check us out on YouTube, on Twitch. Very much appreciate any kind of like or follow. And yeah, we will see you guys in 2 weeks for another session number 2.
How exciting.
See you guys then.
Hell yeah, dude.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye!
Bye.